recording. Would you mind just starting off by just giving your name, your role, and how long you've been here for, and then we'll get into conversation.
Yeah. Søren Overgaard, and I'm the CEO. I've been that for the last 2.5 years. I joined NAC back in 12 as CFO, and I actually don't come out of the aviation industry, but out of shipping. So I've been with AP Moller Maersk for 18 years.
Right.
I did investment banking before that, but I've been in financing of large assets and large infrastructure in my whole life.
Excellent. So over the 5 years, how has your perception of NAC changed?
When I joined, we were 50, 60 people. Everybody knew each other very well. It only took relatively short to get into the business and get into Norway. Yeah. Today we're 200. We're basically in the same locations. We have one more location than we did at that point in time, but it's a big company. And I'll say that's actually the biggest change, that it's a big company. We try very, very hard not to be a big company or be seen as a big company or have the bureaucracy of big companies or whatever. So we try to replicate it. We talk a lot about how they did it in the old days when they were 30, 40 people in Billund.
Yeah.
And that's the feeling we want to have in the regional offices.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it's not really changed. I mean, we've been through a change in ownership that you can't see unless you know it.
Right.
Staff doesn't. I mean, we're a handful of people that has a slightly changed working week or working month, but it's actually very, very little that they interfere. So company doesn't see it, customers doesn't see it at all.
Right.
Maybe only from the fact that we got a little bit more firing power and went out and bought some portfolios, which mean that we became bigger faster than we otherwise would have been. But the journey would eventually have been the same.
Yeah. And are there things that you're particularly proud of about NAC and working for NAC and what it does?
I mean, one of the amazing things is that we are. It's a company that is extremely focused. Not many companies has been doing the same thing without straying too much from it for 25 years.
Yeah.
But we've basically been doing regional aircraft for 25 years.
Yeah.
Yes, they got bigger. Yes, they got newer. Yes, we have far more than we did. But it's basically the same market. Yeah. Where others would have been tempted to let's try something else and we make so much money, let's spend some of it over here.
Yeah.
But that's actually that's amazing. And people in the company, at least the ones who've been here as long as me or longer, which by now isn't that many, but the ones who've been here the last 5-10 years, truly dedicated to what they do, love what they're doing, and has no intention of getting into other businesses. Yeah.
Turning generally to around brand, what do you think the role of branding can do for the business positively for which audiences?
I mean, we went through an updating of our values last year. Yeah. So the company have had values written down basically forever. Somebody wrote them down a long time ago in Danish. Translated them into English. That worked until we actually started talking about them, and maybe it was not the best translation, and maybe they were not clear. So we did an update on that. We use that also in our marketing. We talk about it to customers and people. And I think branding is an add-on to that. Clearly, we have a name. We struggle a little bit with our name. What are we actually called? A lot of people like to call us Nordic.
Right.
We actually like to be NAC or Nordic Aviation Capital. But without the dots, it's difficult to. But as late as yesterday, I actually had something from somebody who has been in the industry for a long, long time, writing 25 pages, and all over it said Nordic. But branding, hopefully, I mean, it's a business-to-business industry. There's 400 potential customers. That a few thousand in outside our space that should know what we do. But the name.
And does the
what it stands for is important.
So does does it cause you? Does the fact that some people still call you Nordic, does that cause you challenges? I.e., is that a shorthand for people saying, "Oh, they're an old leasing business has been around"?
it's just annoying.
Okay.
I mean, it's one of the few things I learned when I grew up. That was spell people's name correctly.
Yes.
And I have it myself. I get irritated.
Yeah.
I shouldn't, but I mean,
yeah.
At least show that respect that
Yeah.
you know people's name and can spell it.
And which of the audiences do you think the branding is most important for?
That's a good question. Eventually customers,
Yeah.
but suppliers, staff, potential staff. I guess if one, then it's got to be the customer.
Right.
But
Okay. And the investors? Oh,
I forget the investors. They are becoming an increasingly important group, given that our funding has moved from bank financing to capital markets.
Yeah.
So in that sense, you're right.
Right. Yeah.
That they should be on there.
And if you were to try and summarise what you think at the moment, the perception of the NAC brand is in, let's just say, customers' minds, what 3 words would you use?
Agile, trustworthy. I'm looking for another word for diligent. Call it diligent.
We call diligent. And you think those would be things that, if you talk to customers, the customers that use you, they would feel they'd be saying about you?
Yeah. Number 3 is not fantastic.
Well,
two first.
Well, it's a good start. and in terms of what in terms of what you offer them, again, what do you think they would be saying? I go to NAC because what they do is, as succinctly as possible, what do you think? What is it you offer them?
Because they want to make a deal happen, and because even though we are an industry where you are tied up,
yeah,
we are probably the most flexible of the leasing companies.
Right.
Flexible is probably a better word than.
I don't. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And do they and is there a specific, therefore, value or benefit they get from you that they can't get from other people?
Yeah. At least that's what we claim.
Yeah.
But it's of course difficult in something that lasts or where the aircraft lives 25 years. But we do. We are probably a friendlier lessor.
Right.
When the airlines are having difficulties.
Yeah.
And we might also be a friendly lessor when they, for good reasons, want to change their equipment.
Okay. So what does friendly mean? If you could just for my benefit unpack that in terms of
lease contract is a firm thing for 5 or 10 or how many years you've done, and basically you can't change it.
Right.
And if you do, you start messing up with the profitability of the lessor.
Right.
But we will. If there's a deal to be made, we will break a lease.
Okay.
Before time without.
Right.
Full compensation.
Okay.
Whatever comes in is better.
And why do you do that?
Because that's back to we've been focused on this for 25 years, and we actually like the space we're in, and we like the customers, and basically we think that's our mission. That's to do what we're doing in that market and make sure that that also smaller airlines and growing airlines actually get the equipment they need.
Right. And is there anything at the moment about the perception of NAC or the way you operate and market yourselves that gets in the way of winning new clients, or prevents you from?
I would think that there is a risk that some customers will see us getting too big.
Right.
Not because size matters, but because but we will. Some of these things that is nice with the small leasing companies will disappear.
Right.
Some of it will be too much factory line production.
And is that something that is a genuine risk for you, or that's a perception risk from those customers that they,
It's a genuine risk, and it's something we very hard try not to.